I'm honored to introduce my friend, Ifalade Ta'Shia Asanti, a class of 2011 Lambda Fellow in Genre Fiction. I just want to thank our instructor, Catherine Forrest, who is just amazing in her patience with us as writers. And I want to thank Tony for answering my prayers to God for a second chance. Easy. My being psychic made it easy to fix other people's problems, to answer the questions that plague them and make their lives whole again. It did little to solve my own issues that started with a 40-year-old wound that no medicine, spiritual or otherwise, had been able to heal. I clicked off the television and melted into my bed. It wasn't long before I began to drift. Within minutes, I fell into an almost hypnotic sleep. I felt the familiar heaviness of my spirit leaving my body. Soul parted from flesh and became light as midnight clouds. I hovered over the bed just above the fan, partaking in my slumber. That's when she came to me, Mami Wata. She was a young woman in this dream. I followed her down a dimly lit path into the deep forest of Africa. She sat perched atop a large rock. I stood back so that I could watch her. She was closer than she had ever been. I could feel her heat, could smell the deep musk of her amber skin. My eyes were drawn to the glimmer of sparkling black and purple stones encased in silver hanging around her neck. I wanted to touch them, to lose myself in the darkness of the cool stones. It was the necklace the spirits had told me about. In those magical stones lay the key to the mysteries my soul had been born with. My weightless body descended to the floor. I took 3 or 4 or 5 steps in her direction. I expected her to turn around to the sound of me approaching, but she didn't budge. I touched the hem of her dress. An electrical current rocked my body like a bolt of electricity. I wailed like a hungry infant summoning its mother. She pulled me to her, made a river of my tears. Her embrace spoke a silent empathy for the pain I was hiding. I laid my head across her lap, and at that moment, she was all, just all. Mami Wata's hips had a valley of gods and goddesses sleeping silently in their dips and folds. Her legs were like tree trunks. They swaggered down the dusty roads of the small village where we lived. I remembered her better than my own mother, remembered her breath. Remembered the deep lines surrounding her eyes and the corners of her lips. I recalled her incantations, had witnessed her fingers dancing incense across a blazing fire. She had been coming to me since I was a little girl, but this visit was more intense than any other. I had to hold on until she revealed why she had come. Motherless and often depressed beyond daylight hours, I sought this matriarch as if she was water. I needed to sink myself into her bosom, drink her sweat, the salty, sacred oil of woman. I journeyed deeper into the dream. Our breakfast steamed in a huge black cauldron. She lent me her hands. They caressed my jawline and eyebrows with a holy gesture, a touch only God herself could deliver. I wish I worshipped a God like her. The scent of her fruit-sweetened soup enchanted my senses. She looked at me and smiled, her teeth glowing like the logs beneath the fire she was stoking so patiently. Instantly, I felt beautiful. My thick, woolly hair transformed into shining onyx coils that flowed from my scalp like the finest fabric. Mami Wata could see the beauty in me when I felt most ugly, when I felt like my skin was oozing, begging me to slash it with a thorn-ribbed branch. These were the visits I loved the most. In these dreams, Mami Wata would speak my beauty, true, strong, and softly. Come, my beautiful child, she'd say in a velvety voice, and when I leaned into her, she would drizzle a few drops of saliva between her index and middle fingers and wash the fear from my eyes, jerk the angst from my heart, become totally afraid of looking insane to passers-by. She left me. My mother, I shrieked, childlike, slithering from her lap onto the dirt beneath her wide feet. She nor leave you. She leave her body behind. Now she your light. I don't need no light. I need my mother. I answered, not sure who was speaking through me. I am your mother, she said, caressing my face softly. But you're there and I'm here, I screamed and bolted down the trail that led to the blue-green shadows on the foaming sea. I sat at the shore petitioning the water gods for answers. Why did my mama have to die and leave me here to understand my gift? Why had I been born in a country that didn't revere the seers? I wanted Mommy Water to be my mother's. I wanted to travel through her bark-colored thighs into the hands of the sacred five. How come I only got to